Hey guys, how's it going? I'm Ashley. This video is all about pushing myself through a fear and through my comfort zone. I ran a public speaking session and I wanted to talk about how I felt before the session and then also after the session. Unfortunately, my video before the session, when I watched it back, I realized I didn't really talk about it. This video is going to be more focused on how I actually felt back then. I'm just going to jump straight into it. Before I ran the session, I initially thought I was really anxious, but upon deeper reflection, I noticed that actually I was feeling excited. I was a little bit nervous because I didn't know how it was going to go, but I also felt like I had the skill level to deal with anything that came up, which just left me feeling excited. Definitely nervous if ever I focused on negative thoughts, but by tuning into or reminding myself that I felt that I could deal with it, I felt alright. And I'd prepared pretty well for this. I'd spent all day preparing and a little bit of the day before preparing and making sure that I had enough activities, making sure that I knew roughly where I was going with it. I felt a little bit out of my comfort zone because I wasn't just preparing activities that are available online, I was including some of the things that I've learned through public speaking myself. One of the big ones being where I put my focus. I noticed when I was speaking in front of groups of people, public speaking, my focus would either be on what everyone else is thinking of me or on me messing up in some way. So like freezing, running out of things to say, all those kinds of things. And then I would get nervous and anxious and get lost in my head and forget what to say. I would freeze, all that kind of stuff. As I learned to train myself to focus on just being more expressive, focus on having fun, focusing on pushing myself through barriers and challenges. The more I did that, the easier it got to speak in front of people. I still felt some anxiety at times, but the more I was able to focus on internal things that I had control over, rather than these external things that I had no control over, the more that I was able to do that, the more comfortable I felt. I'm going to leave you now to watch some clips of the actual session, followed up by how I felt immediately afterwards. Check it out. Alright, so I thought about doing this session, I thought about doing something that I've learned along the way that's been really useful and gearing it around that, and that's focus control. So I touched on it a little bit before about where we focus. When we have anxiety, we tend to focus on negative thoughts quite a bit, whereas if we can learn to control the focus and bring it into something that we have control over, that anxiety usually just melts away. So that's what I'm going to gear around. And a couple of things that I want to try and focus on are having fun. So just having as much fun as you can when you're up here. It's a similar thing, but this time, so that was fun, that one, wasn't it? Yeah. So this one's just any memory where you felt really happy. And it's all about trying to really feel and experience that happiness while you're up here, which might be challenging, but that's the idea, is just to get in touch with that focus again. So for me, something I've wanted to do for a long time was have a campfire, and I experienced it at the UK Fruit Festival about a month ago. And there's a massive campfire, there's 100 of us around the campfire. And when everyone else had gone to bed, I was one of the last ones up. There was me and this other girl, and we were just laying down and looking up at the stars. It was a really clear night. And I checked my phone, I've got an app on my phone that tells you when the space station is coming over, and it happened to be coming over like 7 minutes from when I looked. Wow, that's awesome. So we just laid down and waited for it to come over, and we could see it coming over really bright. And as it got to about almost vertically up, there was a massive shooting star coming over as well. And in that moment, I just felt so, it sounds so cheesy, but I felt so at one with nature and life, and that was a really happy moment for me. I felt fulfilled. So I just got back from the public speaking, and it was okay. I didn't feel particularly anxious when I was there. It didn't go quite as well as I'd hoped. When I was practicing at home on my own, there were so many more things that I did differently, but it was okay. I mean, it was a learning experience. The things that I missed out I could easily include the next time, and I managed to fill the whole 2.5 hours despite there being half the group that there'd normally be, because we've done it on a different day. So that was, from that point of view, it was good. And there was also good feedback around the focus control that I was doing, which was a little bit different to how I would normally run a session. So all in all, I'm pretty happy with it. It wasn't perfect. I think it's okay. I'm happy with how it went and what I've managed to learn from it. Some of the things were I didn't give any feedback. I spent a lot of the time at the back of the room and I presented from there almost. It just felt more natural to do it that way, which I hadn't anticipated. Maybe I'll do it a little bit differently next time, but all in all,